There are things we do every single day in Nigeria that feels normal, but if you try the same thing in the US or Europe, you might end up with handcuff. I'm not even joking. Let me explain and list them out. Number 1, roadside peeing. People peeing by the roadside is very normal in Nigeria. In Nigeria, when traffic holds you hostage and nature calls, the roadside suddenly becomes a national bathroom. Nobody stares, nobody cares. You see it mostly among the men. You rarely catch women doing it, maybe because of the way women dress. Personally, I find it quite disgusting and irritating. Imagine walking on the road and a man suddenly starts peeing right where you are passing. I just try to shield my eyes so he doesn't think I'm staring at him. But it is no more here. But abroad, that is public indecency. You will get fined, arrested, and in some cases, they might even label you a sex offender in some countries. Number 2, passenger overload in public transport. You will see 5 people squeezed into a taxi meant for 3. It is pure normal vibe. All you can do is just pray to reach your destination as quickly so you don't suffocate on the bus. All you will hear is, "Driver, abeg move the bus now so we can get some fresh air." But abroad, that is a lawsuit waiting to happen. Overloading passenger is seen as endangering lives, and authorities don't play with that. But here in Nigeria, it is just vibe. People go for this type of buses to save cost because honestly, the economy is hard. Number 3, crossing the road anywhere. Jaywalking. In Nigeria, if you want to cross the road, you just cross. Simple. Even on a busy highway, you just pray, look left, look right, and run for your life. And the funniest part is cars will slow down for you sometimes. Other times, you are on your own, so may God be with you. But abroad, that is called jaywalking. And yes, it is actually a crime. You can get fined just for crossing where you're not supposed to cross, or for ignoring traffic lights. Imagine being punished for what we do every single day here without thinking twice. Over there, you wait at the pedestrian crossing like a civilized citizen. Here in Nigeria, it is just pure normal. God, I beg. Let me just reach the other side. Nothing else. Number 4, noise and neighbors. In Nigeria, noise is almost like background music to life. Naming ceremonies, birthday parties, church, mosque, every event comes with speakers blasting from morning till night. Even without an event, your neighbor might just wake up and decide to play music loud enough for the whole street to hear. If you ever join my live stream, you probably know what I'm talking about. Sometimes you will hear the noise in the background. It can be really disturbing, but honestly, it is a normal thing here. And because there aren't really strict rules protecting against noise pollution, at least none that are seriously enforced, it just continues. Of course, this varies depending on the apartment or landlord, but in general, noise is normal vibe here. But abroad, that is a whole different story. They call it disturbing the peace. If you try blasting loud music at 6 a.m., your neighbors won't just knock on your door. They will call the police before you even finish testing the mic. In some countries, you could even be fined. Some things that feels normal to Nigerians here could literally get you in a legal trouble elsewhere. Number 5, police settlements in Nigeria. When the police stops you on the road, most times it is not really about checking your license or insurance papers. It is about finding the officers something. They will casually stretch their hand into your car window and say things like, "Officer, anything for the boys? For your boys. Or give us something for water just now." Take this, please. You and I both know what that means. It is basically a polite way of asking for a tip. And if you refuse, you might end up delayed, frustrated, or even harassed. A lot of people just give them something to avoid wahala. That's problem. And move on. But abroad, that is not just frowned upon. It is a crime. It is called bribery. If a police officer takes money from you on the road, it is corruption. And if you are caught offering it, you could go straight to jail. There is an entire department abroad that investigates and punishes such behavior. What has become normal in Nigeria is a serious offense in many other countries. Number 6, kids and safety. In Nigeria, it is very normal to see a 10-year-old carrying a baby on their back, fetching water from the well, or even being sent out on an errand at night. It is seen as a part of growing up and a part of learning responsibility early, but abroad, that is considered child endangerment. People would call child protective service immediately. A child that young is not supposed to be out at night alone or handling heavy chores meant for adults. In some countries, your parents could actually lose custody for that or get fined. What we see as normal training here is seen as neglect elsewhere. Different countries, different rules. Number 7, child nannies. Another thing we don't even think twice about in Nigeria is child nannies. Families taking in little girls, sometimes just 12 or 13-year-old, to work as nannies or house help. Here, it is often seen as helping the child's family, giving her a roof over her head, food to eat, and sometimes sending her to school. Many households see it as a win-win situation, but abroad, that is child labor, completely illegal. Social services will step in immediately. A child that young isn't supposed to be working full-time in someone else's home. She's supposed to be in school, protected, and free to enjoy her childhood. The cultural difference here is massive. What we see as survival or help, the West see it as exploitation. But I'm glad people are beginning to wake up to fight against this in Nigeria. Number 8, street hawking. Street hawking is another big one in Nigeria. You will see kids weaving through traffic with bottled water, snacks, pure water, granules, basically anything you can think of. For us, it feels normal. In fact, a lot of families depend on it just to survive. Some kids even learn business skills early because of it. But abroad, that is straight up against child protection law. A child hustling on the streets in heavy traffic, authorities will call it dangerous, unsafe, and neglectful. Social services would step in immediately, and the parents could face serious consequences. Again, it is that cultural difference. What is survival here is considered a crime over there. Number 9, beating a child in public. In Nigeria, if a child misbehaves, the solution is simple. One quick smack right there in public, nobody bats an eye. In fact, some people will even clap and say, correct the child before it is too late. It is seen as discipline, a normal part of parenting. But abroad, that's a whole different story. A single slap in public can land you in serious trouble. It is considered child abuse, and someone will call the child protective service on you instantly. What is called discipline here is seen as violence over there. At the end of the day, a lot of what we see as normal in Nigeria would be breaking serious laws abroad. And what is considered normal abroad sometimes feels strange to us here. It just shows that culture and environment shapes what we think is okay. But one thing is clear, context matters. What is survival in one place could be a crime in another. Still, it is important for us to evolve with time, picking up the right lessons from different parts of the world so we can actually grow and do better. Number 10, power cuts. In Nigeria, NEPA can take light in the middle of your cooking and all you can do is sigh. Honestly, they are the most unpredictable organization. One minute you are blending your tomato, the next minute everywhere is dark. Same thing when you are ironing, you just pray the light doesn't go off halfway. Otherwise, you will be walking around with one sleeve smooth and the other wrinkled. That is why most people here have backup power. Some run generators, some have installed solar panels, and almost everyone has at least one power bank. Me, I have 3. And somehow I still suffer because sometimes it is not just power cuts. They can take it for hours or even days or weeks. It is a normal struggle for us here. But abroad, if electricity goes off for a day, it is a big deal. The government can be sued, companies might have to pay damages, and you will literally see it in the news headline. Meanwhile, here we have built a whole lifestyle around managing power cuts. That is how different it is. This is our experience here in Nigeria. You can tell me what other cultural shock you have experienced in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe. Thank you. Don't forget to share too.